in tonight's headlines. The Court of Appeal grants a temporary injunction order in favor of the government, banning the protest song Glory to Hong Kong. MTR to suspend services at 4 stations on the Kwun Tong line for 1 whole day in July to carry out extensive equipment upgrade. And low-cost carrier Hong Kong Express revises baggage charges, making passengers pay for cabin luggage. The Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the government and granted an interim injunction criminalizing certain aspects of the way in which the protest song Glory to Hong Kong is portrayed. Last year, authorities had requested an order to ban the song, but the High Court ruled against it, saying it could have a chilling effect and that such acts are already covered under the criminal law. The Department of Justice had appealed against that ruling, which was overturned today. Under the new ruling, most noticeably broadcasting, performing, printing, disseminating, reproducing, and displaying the song is a crime, but exemptions were made for academic and journalistic purposes. High Court Judges Jeremy Poon, Carly Chu, and Anthea Pang explained that according to the certificate issued by the Chief Executive under National Security Law Article 47, such criminal acts pose national security risks, adding that the certificate was binding on the court. They said prosecutions alone were clearly not adequate to tackle the acute criminal problems. The judges said the injunction was necessary to persuade internet platforms to remove problematic content.
Rail operator MTR Corporation will suspend services at 4 stations along the Kwun Tong line on Sunday, July 28th. The suspension is expected to last 24 hours to carry out the first extensive equipment upgrade in more than 40 years. Prince Edward, Mong Kok, Yau Ma Tei, and Ho Man Tin stations will be affected. The overhaul includes replacing over 50 large metal hangars which have been in use for over 4 decades. Even though maintenance work is done after service hours on a daily basis, the planned upgrade will need more time and it could last up to 28 hours.
We actually set a number of checkpoints in these 28 hours. For the 28 hours, we will check against the actual progress against the target to make sure that there's no hiccup on that. If there's any issue that we identify, we will earlier exercise the contingency and recovery plan with an aim to resume the service on Monday as soon as possible, as per what we promised.
Passengers will still be able to access all 98 stations despite the suspension, while Prince Edward will be the sole interchange station between Tsuen Wan Line and Kwun Tong Line. The operation will be postponed by a week in case of typhoon or extreme weather. The replacement work is part of the $65 billion 5-year investment plan to maintain rail assets. Similar upgrades will be conducted along other rail lines over the next 2 to 3 years to reduce inconvenience for commuters. Janice Low, Cable News.
If you're planning to travel with the Hong Kong's only budget airline, Hong Kong Express, you might need to rethink your fare types under the carrier's new baggage policy. Starting today, the low-cost carrier will charge passengers if they wish to travel with cabin luggage, while expanding the fare categories from 2 to 4 tiers. Ultralight, light, essential, and max constitute the 4 tiers, with the main difference being the amount of carry-on and checked-in baggage permitted under every category. The cheapest fare, ultralight, allows passengers to bring just one small personal item weighing less than 7 kg, which must also fit under the seat in front. Free checked baggage is only available for essential and max tiers.
有啲顧客都成日問我哋，佢旅行嘅時候冇寄艙行李喎，我哋嘅票價可唔可以再平啲呢？嚇，咁呢個咧。
Ronald Lam, Chief Executive of parent company Cathay Pacific Airways, said Hong Kong Express took into account the approach of other low-cost carriers in Asia, as well as passenger needs, providing more flexible choices. The airline said travelers who booked their tickets on or before Tuesday could still enjoy the baggage allowance, as per the previous policy, which allowed passengers to carry up to one small personal item and one piece of cabin baggage with a maximum weight of 7 kg. With international air travel on the rise, Cathay Pacific announced it had already reached 80% capacity of pre-pandemic levels, a target that aligned with its goal for this year's second quarter, and the airline is on track to reach 100% by the first quarter of next year. Anna Chan, Cable News.
There was a gun salute for President Xi Jinping as he was given the official welcome by his Serbian counterpart Aleksandar Vučić in Belgrade. After wrapping his two-day visit to France yesterday, Xi arrived in the Serbian capital, the second stop of his 6-day trip to Europe. Xi and his wife Peng Liyuan were received at the airport by Vučić and First Lady Tamara Vučić, along with other high-ranking Serbian officials. The arrival was celebrated with a welcoming performance. In a written statement, Xi expressed his eagerness to engage in in-depth discussions with Vučić on various bilateral issues and to further enhance the China-Serbia relationship. Marking his second visit to Serbia in a span of 8 years, Xi emphasized the substantial progress achieved in the comprehensive strategic partnership between both nations. Earlier, Xi wrapped up his 2-day visit to France with a scenic trip to the Pyrenees Mountains alongside his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. The place has an emotional connection with Macron, who often traveled there as a child to visit his maternal grandmother. It was a somewhat reciprocal gesture when last year Xi took Macron to Guangdong province, where his father once lived. Amidst foggy weather and snowy conditions, both leaders enjoyed folk dances and traditional music before sharing a lunch of local delicacies where they engaged in strategic communication on crucial matters in a serene setting. Xi said the Chinese cherish national unification, and despite having different systems of governance, both France and China are committed to inter-civilizational exchanges and mutual learning. He said both countries could coexist in harmony and make new contributions to world peace and development. Macron highlighted the importance of Europe's strategic autonomy as well as fostering a strong relationship with China. Xi thanked Macron for the hospitality and extended the invitation for a future visit to China. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
TikTok has sued the US government over a law that could ban the short video app in America unless its Beijing-based parent company ByteDance gives up its stake in the social media giant. TikTok and ByteDance argued that the law violates the US Constitution, restricting freedom of speech. Citing national security concerns, US President Joe Biden signed a bill last month giving TikTok until early next year to divest from ByteDance or face an outright ban in the US. TikTok has denied allegations of sharing US user data with any third party or the Chinese government. The lawsuit is the latest move by TikTok to keep ahead of efforts to shut it down in the United States and comes amid a broader US-China rivalry in advanced technology and data security.
As usual, with much fanfare, tech giant Apple unveiled new products, which are deemed to be top of the line and with substantial upgrades from earlier versions.
We have a huge day of announcements ahead of us, and it's all about iPad. In fact, this is the biggest day for iPad since its introduction.
Since 2010, Apple's tablet has reached its 11th generation.
This is the all-new, impossibly thin, incredibly powerful iPad Pro.
At the Let Loose launch event at Apple headquarters in Cupertino, California, Senior Vice President John Turners unveiled the latest iPad Pro and iPad Air, which feature faster processors and a breakthrough new display. The new toys came in two dimensions, 11-inch and a slightly bigger 13-inch model. At a 5.1mm thin, the 13-inch iPad Pro is the slimmest Apple product ever.
The new iPad Pro is even thinner than the iPod Nano.
Equipped with the M4 chip, its central processing unit is 50% faster than the current version, empowering it with AI capabilities. The new iPad Pro also comes with an OLED display for the first time. Apple is trying to juice demand for iPads after first quarter sales plunged 17% from last year. Company forecasts suggest revenue to rebound in the second quarter.
From consumers to pros, iPad enables people to take their ideas, their work, and their creativity to new heights. We can't wait to see what users do with these incredible new iPads.
All new models will be available in stores, including Hong Kong, starting May 15th, with pre-orders beginning today. Not counting accessories, the cheapest version in the SAR will cost nearly 8,000 Hong Kong dollars. Anna Chan, Cable News.